This is Cybert signing into Tib Wars. Yeah, we're kicking it back to the original Tiberium Wars, not Kane's Wrath. It's been a long time since we did some Tib Wars action, and... Okay, let's get into these intros. On the left side, playing as the pink Scrin, this is Devastator. And on the right side, playing as the cyan, also Scrin, this is vovken228. A Scrin mirror. The map is Tournament Rift, a classic always. We got those slow engineers, but we got some buzzers guarding them as well. Lots of buzzers from vovken. By the way, big thanks. Oh, good. Okay. Okay. Real quick, there's a build from a long time ago, Proxy War Factory. It doesn't really work, but occasionally it will work. And when I saw that Surveyor right out of the gate, I was a little bit worried that we were about to see a Proxy War Factory game. But it's a fast expand to the middle, so he's going for the contested field right out of the gate. We'll see how that turns out for Devastator. At any rate, big thanks to the folks who support the channel over on Patreon, especially the newcomers like Dan R., Dominick V., Teckdoc, David R., Admiral Akbar 47, not the first 46, those guys are all suckers. Oh, and the engineer barely gets in! James and Deadly Shadow, of course, it's always appreciated, but, oh, this is, oh, that hurts. He drops a third refinery. I assume he's going to sell this refinery off once the harvester finishes up. Wow, that's really frustrating. Oh, it is actually going to be kind of a proxy war factory. Not proxy, but like mid-map, pre-refinery war factory. And anyways, big thanks to the folks who support me over on Patreon. It is always appreciated, never an obligation, never a requirement, but a big thanks nonetheless. Now, Double War Factory going to be coming up for vovken. I think he's identified that there is something bizarre going on in this game. Reminds me a little bit of something that, like, Troll Report would do. It's kind of interesting with all of the chaos and the mayhem. In the first couple of moments, we actually ended up with a perfect split of 2 and 2 Tib Spikes. A lovely even distribution. Now, the Secret Tank advantage is going to be going to the vovken in the beginning. He's got the production advantage, having the War Factory producing just that and not having to produce extra harvesters on top of that. But now, as the additional War Factories come online, on the front line, vovken might have the numbers advantage disappear from out from under him. More Secret Tanks going to be coming up, and it might just be Seekers v Seekers. No, Devastators are gonna, not Devastators, but not Dev Tanks either. Instead, Disintegrators are going to get in on the action. They're going to get there one way or the other, chasing away. Only one Harvester down. Photon Cannon coming up for the defense, and the Secret Tanks have been pushed away. vovken might just need to go south. No, he's going for the blue Tib. He may also be going for the Tib Spike in the south, trying to cut that off. If he could gain all 4 Tib Spikes, that would help make up for the fact that he's behind on that green expansion. However, that green expansion won't last forever, so it may be one of those situations where vovken can hold off and smack down additional expansions coming out from Devastator. They can even things up. Engineer not going to get sniped. Buzzer's getting chased far enough away. Refinery on the blue field, and I imagine the MCV will move on from there. Devastator really has a big advantage right here, right now. He's got 2 fields to 1, and this is sort of his opportunity to do something with that. Maybe a tech up to tripods and then start triple pumping tripods, or maybe he just needs to, even going potentially for late game air and trying to work 2 armies at once, an air armada hitting the side, and then a ground army to hold off the forces of vovken. Vovken trying to sneak around to the north side, comes in on top of the green Tiberium field, and will push back Devastator, but I don't know how many Harvesters he'll actually get. Every Harvester kill puts him a little bit closer to even footing, especially with that blue Tiberium now under his control. No Harvesters go down, relatively few losses on either side. vovken not fully committing to the attack, and that's probably for the best. I don't know that that would be a beneficial thing for him to do. Okay, so he's going to expand backwards. If he just lets Devastator take the field in the south, then it'll mean Devastator has 3 green Tiberium fields under his control. But vovken has confirmed that no, there is no southern expansion taken at this point. And this is where Devastator really needs to come up with a plan of how he's going to win this game, because, I mean, if your plan was to just take an early green field, what are you going to do with that? Because your opponent is going to take their own green natural expansion at some point. I love cutting off this blue Tiberium field. This is not double refinery, this is double gravity stabilizer. Now, this is a lot of anti-air that already exists out on the field, so I am curious as to how effective. Well, actually up here there is not a lot of anti-air. There's none, in fact. It's all down here, all these seeker tanks. So triple gravity stabilizer. Refinery comes up on the natural expansion as well. Ooh, reverse move catching that seeker tank. Always fun when a reverse move bug kills your unit for you. You don't even have to send him off to die. The game engine will do that for you. And this triple gravity stabilizer is about to be revealed. The MCV under threat, and the additional harvesters, additional refineries going to be getting shut down. These Storm Riders can't really contest with this many seeker tanks. They might be able to do some damage if the army gets distracted. We'll see. Seeker tanks coming in from the north. Split army from vovken around the mountains. And this attack may just get overwhelmed. And if the only thing that he kills is Storm Riders, that's probably not worth it. This is a big trade of seeker tanks. Absolute mass seeker versus mass seeker. But vovken will undoubtedly have the victory here. I think maybe no harvesters going down in this exchange as well. So no slowdown to the natural expansion of vovken. And there, as his third base, he's going to take what would be his normal natural expansion field. I love this trade out into the higher tech dev tanks and tripods. Anti-air is still definitely a problem as more and more Storm Riders are going to be pumped out. Sends in the descents early on. Maybe a bit of a mistake. Would have been nice to have them here soaking up damage now that the tripods are actually on the front line. Tripods stomping forward. Dev tanks letting a big chunk of the army get away. Devastator moving forward. He's going to be able to crush the main base, but what will he do beyond that? Battle marker for something, and here come the Storm Riders. It's going to take him a while to beat down this army, but they will take it down. He really did not pack any. Okay, Seeker tanks finally showing up, and they will be able to push away these Storm Riders. This might actually be enough Storm Riders to overwhelm the Seekers. There's not that many Seeker tanks, truth be told. More and more are streaming to the front line, joining the fray. There's the force field upgrade getting activated, and these Seeker tanks are going to get destroyed from vovken. He's stepping forward into the waiting arms of those tripods, and tripods eat Seeker tanks for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but maybe the Storm Riders will be enough to clear the ground as the absolute massacre of Seeker tanks goes exactly as everyone expected it to. Reinforcements coming in. It's not much in terms of actual reinforcements, but these Storm Riders have no answer. vovken was able to cut down what Seeker tanks remained, and now every tripod has fallen. The Devastator warships may also get eliminated. 1-2 plasma missile batteries on the front line for Devastator, but he's bought enough time. He's got up 2 refineries on the expansion, and now he's got an entire green field at his disposal. He's sort of choked down the infrastructure and the production, the buildings of vovken down into this one natural expansion field, which is completely gone dry. vovken's only chance might be the blue field and taking it back. But it's purely a numbers game in a lot of ways. The lack of anti-air has really hurt Devastator. It stopped him from being able to just win the game outright with that push. Maybe a couple of gunwalkers packed along would have been nice for the inevitable descent rush. If you're down on units, 5 gravity stabilizers now. If you're down on units, descents are always a way to go. This is just mass Storm Riders, and it's actually enough to overwhelm these Seeker tanks, it seems. Storm Riders coming through, and they're going to be able to catch these Seeker tanks and taking them down one by one in pretty short order. Maybe they're trading out a bit more evenly, but really vovken has one play, and it's just going for this mass air kind of move. Going for the repair with the Storm Column. the little boost to those Storm Riders, and it does repair them out away from their home field. Reinforcements streaming across the map. Tripods, Seeker tanks, Dev tanks starting to be rebuilt. Even something coming out of the portal. A little strapped for cash as he tries to power absolutely everything on the tech tree. Devastator may have overstretched himself. Let's see if vovken can actually do critical damage while taking the blue Tiberium for himself. This might be a bit of a base trade as Devastator moves out. Stasis Chamber gets sniped, removing some of that tech from the tree of Devastator. First Devastator warship is out. Storm Riders coming in. They're going to help make short work of this base. They're going to get the gravity stabilizer nice and quick. Shuts it down, but goes for the Dev warship instead. Main base already cleaned up. Harvesters long distance mining, and the indecision for Devastator might be the thing that kills him as he turns his army around. Where is he going? What is he doing? Nobody knows, not even him. And the Harvester's going to be going down. The last Harvesters really harvesting Tiberium for Devastator are going to be eliminated. His economy might be just falling to pieces. The production gets slowed as the power plants get targeted one by one. vovken finding an opening, finding an opportunity, pushes forward. He gets so many losses, barely trying to keep the power online. All of the production facilities going down. The last few Seeker tanks do fall as the Storm Riders continue circling. The production was sacrificed, the power offline. The MCV under threat, but it might just barely not be enough. This is such a mess of a game as the refineries get sniped. The blue Tiberium has been claimed. The MCV is in the corner. vovken is moving out. He gets the gravity stabilizer. No more air production as this base flies over more Storm Riders. The upgraded power plants being the target, and once again the manual power down from Devastator, pulling out all the stops to try and save himself in this game. 2 power plants in the south. Seeker tanks and Gunwalkers getting shots off against these Storm Riders. The reinforcements crossing the map haphazardly as Devastator tries desperately to hold together the pieces of an ahead game, and vovken desperately scrambles to find any kind of an angle that'll allow him to keep winning this game. The mastermind is on the field. It's getting targeted down by the Storm Riders. Buzzers get called in. The snipe of the buzzers by vovken. There will be no MCV cap today. There will be no shutdown of this drone ship. Descents on the ground. Meanwhile, the Storm Riders turn back to vovken's side of the map. The MCV gets sold off. He's not hoping to hold the ground, but he's got so many gravity stabilizers he can rebuild. He just doesn't have the cash. These 3 Tib Spikes, one that he captured in the middle of the game, paying big, big dividends. But the MCV survives for Devastator. What looked like a clear-cut case of one guy has way more cash than the other guy has been flip-flopped and transformed so many times over the course of this 13-minute match. Couple of Seeker tanks, couple of Gunwalkers. Unfortunately for Devastator, he let these units get out of position. He let these units get separated out from their brethren, and instead of striking as one powerful force, he's just getting wasted away bit by bit, piece by piece. Devastator is looking to do some damage. He can build up slowly, stronger than ever, with only anti-air to worry about. I think the clock is on for vovken, but the Devastator warships are going to make this tough for vovken to stay in the game without committing to the attack. He's going for it. He cleans up pretty much all of the ground forces. More Gunwalkers coming in from the north. More the Devastator warships targeting down the Harvesters instead of going for literally anything else, which would have been a better option. And instead, the Devastator warships fall. The last Dev tank gets annihilated. And there's even a lonely tripod husk remaining, which could be taken over by vovken. Wow, the blue Tiberium regrows so fast in Tib Wars. The Tib regrowth is sort of off the charts in this game. And vovken may have given it his all. He may be able to scrape together some kind of a victory, targeting down the Harvester as it starts to unload Tiberium. He gets a kill of a nearly full Harvester, and Devastator has been devastated. The crushing defeat in a pretty exciting and not what I was expecting match out of Tib Wars. Wow, these guys I think this game is actually a couple of years old. I think this is like a 2018 game or something. I don't know when or where I got it. Maybe someone emailed it in, but that is not what I was expecting out of Tib Wars. But what a fantastic match that was to watch. And Storm Riders, as it turns out, mass Storm Riders in the right situation, they do indeed come ahead. And wow, look at that. Despite the fact that he had 3 fields, that blue Tiberium more than made up for it. I cannot believe that Devastator was at no point ahead economically. That's crazy. Vovken actually just leading the way there. Those Tib Spikes helping out a little bit. I'm not actually sure how much of this is Tib Spikes. 25 creds a second. I mean, 75 a second spread out over, I don't know, 7 minutes of this game or whatever. That does add up to something, but that blue Tiberium also extremely powerful. Wow, Devastator, not able to hack it, not able to make it work, and that will do it for this game. Always build your anti-air, kids. That will do it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And this is Cybert, signing out.